Previously, I was in some Facebook private groups on illness, and I've read about accounts of people who just got diagnosed with chronic illness, such as MS, lupus, ALS, motor neuron disease, or cancer, and then their long-term partner desert them, or their children did not want to look after them, and their heart were literally breaking. They did not know what to do. Because at the same time, especially related to partners, they know that they didn't want to hold their partner back as well. But it was also the time that they need their partner the most. And some of these people have been married for many years. Here, I would like to share my personal experience. Slightly more than 6 years ago, I gave up my job to care for my mother. Because at that point of time, my mother had acute hepatitis and she was yellow with jaundice. And, she had signs, she was so weak, and people say that, she would have probably 3 months to live and all this. So I quickly left my job to care for her. And now it has been more than 6 years. She had Alzheimer, she had forgotten who I am. She's bedridden and she's on tube feeding. Especially in the past 2 years, that since she started tube feeding, I was not able to go anywhere. I mean, I could technically go, but it's just that she required more specialized nursing care. And if I leave her side, she may develop some complications, some issue that other people do not know how to do, like phlegm suction and how to help her, because sometimes her phlegm can come out, and if you don't do the suction out, it may actually cause her to have difficulty in breathing. It happens to people with dysphagia, with other illness, like complication from stroke, or they're bedridden and they happen to have a lot of phlegm. So this is a common occurrence. I am a person who love freedom, and I always have considered myself as free spirit. When I was young, I refused to be tied down by anything. But somehow in my job, I always have a lot of responsibility, and I'm always responsible for a lot of people. It's just the way my life is. But other than that, out of the job, in the weekend, I will be going out. I just don't like stay in the house. I will just go out and explore, jump into my car, explore places and all this. And I have blogs that I can write and share about these kind of places. I actually enjoy doing that. And if I want to go and travel, I will just pack up my bag, buy ticket, and then I will just fly to travel. When my mom got sick and I had to take care of her, in the beginning, after I took care of her, her health improved. We went on a lot of road trips together. Means we'll visit nearby places, get into my car, go to my mother. I will put her on a wheelchair friendly, and then we'll drive around. But eventually, in the past 2 years, she started to have symptoms of Alzheimer. It progresses, and then she got bedridden for 2 years. And I couldn't go anywhere. I have to stay with her in the room. And for her, she has a lot of phlegm. So she's susceptible to lung infection, pneumonia, and all this. We had to do suction, we had to do specialized care. Basically, for these past 2 years, I hardly went to shopping complex unless I need to get something. Also, the only place I went is to go with my mother to hospital for her follow-up checkup, as well as when she get hospitalized, I stay with her as her caregiver. If I have to go to government office or embassy to settle official things related to my mother or my official documentation, that's all I go. I hardly even left the place. And I also hardly leave the room, especially when my mother when lungs become weaker, which the doctor told me is common for bedridden patients. I do not want to introduce cross-infection to her, so I even hardly mingle with people. So if a person who likes freedom a lot, this is going to be very tough. If let's say you think that you may undergo the situation, sometimes a lot of things may happen which you may not expect. Like for me, I never thought that I would able to do this. I'm not really an introvert person. I really like to go out from young. I cannot be held down in one place, one room. But My mother's illness have made it become necessary to do so because I wanted to care for her. I wanted to make sure she is healthy as long as possible. That determination to care for her overshadow my love for freedom. Because in life, sometimes you choose, and then after a while, it always becomes easier and easier because it is the right thing to do. Dr. Jordan Peterson, and he mentioned that to have meaning in life, right, you have to take up responsibility and accountability, not following our whims and fancies. So you want to go anywhere, just jump into a car, or you want to go. It becomes very empty. It really does, because I've done both before. When I was younger, following my whims and fancy, and now I'm somebody that people consider no freedom. If you're willing to take up the challenge and become a caregiver, something within you is going to change. If you're willing to develop patience and you love the person enough that you want to care for that person and to see the person comfortable, you develop contentment through staying with it. Wherever you go, wherever you enjoy, you party, everything is meaningless. It's meaningless, really. You think of all the people that you're party with, that you hang out with. When you really, really have go run into difficulty, are they going to be there for you? Whereas this person who is not well, they were there for you. They care for you. That means something for you in your life. So now it is the time that they need you the most. You should not forsake them. And if they let you go, right, they understand, they let you go, it means that this person is really not selfish. And you are really forsaking a good person, a good person that were there for you when you need them a lot. And it's going to be something that you probably will regret. What I fear the most is something that eventually, when you get older, you may find yourself in a similar situation as well. That's how things seem to work sometimes. After you take on the responsibility and you care for this person, you will slowly find that you don't really need to get out that much. You just started to be contented. I'm just contented to stay with my mother, to care for her. Every day when I get up, the first thing that comes into my mind is I have to change the diapers. If not, it will soil the bed. And then I have not gotten enough sleep for the past 2 years since she got bedridden because of her feeding schedule. We have to feed her when the stomach is empty, and her feeding schedule as well as her medication schedule. And surprisingly, the body is able to cope with that. The desire to go to see outer gratification, look for sight and sounds, no longer bothers me. It is another kind of freedom that once you reach there, you understand. It's very liberating. It's really, really, honestly, very liberating. That you no longer feel that you need to get out, you need to see something, and when you feel that you don't want to face whatever emotions or feeling you're having, then you just want to take a car, drive out, and you just want to look at sight and sounds and travel and whatever, right? And to just forget about, not to look within. Actually, those things are the one that is taking away your freedom. With real internal freedom, real freedom inside, these things no longer have their chains and their hold on you. That's why my mom has always been a blessing in my life. Even when she's unwell, through taking care of her, I learned so much. And if you're willing to do it, if you're willing to do it for your partner or your loved one, who now they really, really need, that's the time they really need you the most. They didn't ask this upon them. They never wish them upon themselves. They really need you the most, and you don't forsake them, right? And you carry out your responsibility. You find it's very true, just what Dr. Jordan Peterson says, very meaningful. Your life will have very meaningful. 6 years, I left a good paying job. I left a good corporate job. I have no regrets. I really have no regrets of leaving the job. Taking care of her have so much more meaning than earning money. Even though in my job, I also help a lot of people. But you will know that when you leave the corporate world, it's very fast, you'll be forgotten and replaced. But when a person that means a lot to you, right? is a chance for you to repay and also to offer your care for somebody, and for this person that have done a lot to you in life, that have meaning to you in life. So don't consider it as a burden to care for them. There's a lot of things you can learn. I'm very grateful, as I said, that I understand what is the meaning of internal freedom. You're free from, you're just being contented, and you no longer feel the need. So I don't need to go to get a good job to be able to pay to have the money to finance all my shopping sprees and all the things anymore, all the traveling and my whims and fancy. These things don't have, it has left me already, because after about 2 years of consistent training of daily, staying at the same place all the time, I no longer have the interest. Sometimes I will upload like a video to write some blog posts, do something with my blogs and my website. That's it. So you can also find something to do that it's just maybe reading, maybe learning something in between the caregiving. We don't really don't have to go out to, go to coffee shops and go shopping and travel, to feel happy, to feel fulfilled. Really, it's the fulfillment, the contentment that we have is within our heart, and we have to be, and sometimes through caregiving we are able to find that, if we are willing to stay long enough to understand it. So this is what I wish to share. I have no regrets. I'm very happy. I'm very happy to have done it. Sometimes I just wish I've left my job sooner. I never miss my job, never miss anything. But of course, I needed the job, because the job, it was able to pay for expenses, and through the job, I'm able to have savings that will last me for a longer period in the future. Thank you.